Okay, so there is another way of doing this using a function called as format. Okay, so here, just a minute. Now, what you can do, another method is you can bring everything within quotes, but this is called as a wildcard. So you just use the brackets, which means you are telling the Python that when Python sees a open close empty brackets within double quotes, it will think that this is a wildcard entry where this value will be coming during the running time. Okay, and then after this quotes is over, just use dot and say format of. So if I give this as a 2004, then you see 2004 is a leap year. You can, repeat the same year as well. So this is another method of doing the same. Using a format function. So the meaning here is that this braces, right? So this is called as a wildcard entry, which means the value is going to appear only dynamically in the runtime. So whatever is there after the format function, the value will be appearing on the within the brackets. Okay, so you are able to see that 2004 is a leap year. So if I give any other value like 2009 or something, then if I run this, it will give me that 2009 is not a leap year. So either there are two methods by which you can do this. Of course, there's another method which we will look at a later point. So one is if year mod 4 equal to 0, print directly you say year, it's a leap year. Just use a comma. So it is either this or this. Okay, don't have to type both, but I'm just giving you all the possible formats which are possible. So now another quick question for you. So maybe just take one number from the user as input. Take a number as input and check whether the number divisible by 5 and so we will be using a keyword called AND here. Okay, so I'm going to say if this number is divisible by 5. So this is the first condition, and I'm going to say number is also divisible by 7. So in this case, I'm going to say print divisible by both. So here the number is 35. So 35 is divisible both by 5 as well as 7, correct? So 35 divided by 35 mod 5 will also be 0, and 35 mod 7 will also be 0. So you will print that the number is divisible by both. Okay. Another thing is in Python, don't use this particular symbol, right? Because it can lead to confusion. So someone use this, so you'll see that you get an invalid syntax because this operation is not there in Python. There is only one AND, but that AND is also called as bitwise AND. So though you may get an answer using this symbol, in general, when you're talking about the logical connectors, use the keyword called AND, because maximum use the words, because it's almost like English only, right? Normal English, so that anyone sees the code, they will be able to understand this. So if I give the number as 25, then what will happen? The number is divisible by 5, but the number is not divisible by 7. So you will get a not divisible by both. Okay. So if I just change this AND to OR, then the meaning changes, correct? So if I say the keyword to OR, then it means either this should be true or this could be true. So if either of one condition itself is true, then the answer will be divisible by I'll just say divisible, not by both. For example, in this case, I'm giving 25. So 25 is divisible by 5. So I'm going to print is divisible. Okay, even though 25 is not divisible by 7, if I use OR keyword, then I will end up coming inside this particular statement. So if I use AND, that is the difference. So I'm just showing you the difference between AND and OR. Okay. AND means both the conditions should be true. Only then this condition will get executed. Okay. OR means either this or this can be true or both can be true. Okay. Only if both are false. For example, I'm giving a number called 24. This is not divisible by 5 as well as not divisible by 7. So even if you give OR statement here, you will get the result as not divisible because both are false. Okay, this is also false and this is also false. Yeah, so now we will go and look into this concept called nested if. Okay, so nested if else, which means there are going to be multiple if else statements. So now tell me if I want to, there are three numbers, right? So there are three numbers like A, B and C. And I want to find out which of the three is the greatest. So there is A, there is B, there is C. Okay. I want to see which of these three, let's say A equal to 15, B equal to 10 and C equal to 11. So I want to find out which of these three number is the greatest. Okay. So in this case, what should we do? So if you look at the logic behind this, so first we need to check if A is greater than B. Okay. If this is true, okay, I'm also going to check if A is greater than C.
C.
Okay. If this is true, then I'm going to say A is the greatest. Right? And now if A greater than B becomes false, okay. Now see, one condition is if A greater than B true, then it is true. Then I'm checking A greater than C, that is also true. Then A is the greatest. Now I'm saying if A is greater than B, that becomes false. So you can understand that B is now greater than A, correct? Because this is false, B is greater than A. Now I'm going to check B is greater than C. If this condition is true, then I will say B is the greatest, correct? If this becomes false, then naturally C becomes the greatest. So you understand this logic, right? So first I'm checking, taking only two numbers A and B. So 15 greater than 10, this is true. So I will come to this point. Now I'm checking if 15 is greater than 11, the condition is still true. So I will print A is the greatest. Suppose if C is triple 1. Now when you are in this condition, if A greater than C is true, A is the greatest. So here the condition is false, correct? So in this case also, you will go and say C is the greatest. Because A is already greater than B, the condition is true. Now you are checking A greater than C, correct? So then C is the greatest. Okay, if this is false, C becomes the greatest one. Similarly, if let's say A greater than B is false, so this is 100, you will come here, correct? A greater than B false, if this is false, so you are checking B is greater than C. If this is false, then C is the greatest. Let's say if this is 1000 and this becomes true, so B is the greatest. So this is the logic, correct? So I have one if statement, and then within that I have two if statements. Okay, so that is called as nested statement. So nesting means writing one within the another loop. So I have two if else. Okay. So or either you can do it as a nested if else, or you can also use another concept called as else if. Okay. So before going to the nested if else, we will also see this concept called if, and then elif, and then else. So if one condition is true, then there is one decision. Else if another condition is true, then another condition. If both these conditions are false, automatically the third condition will get printed. Okay. So that will be the example now. So I'm going to say A equal to 10, B equal to 12, and C equal to 11. Okay. Now we are going to find out the greatest of three numbers. So the first condition we need to check is if A is greater than B. Here itself I'm going to see and A is greater than C. So what is this condition? A is greater than B should be true and A is greater than C should be true. Only if these two conditions are true, I will go inside the loop. Okay. So here I will say print A, comma, is the greatest. Now I need to check another condition. So let's assume that this condition is false. Any one condition is false. So this condition fails. A is greater than B, but A is not greater than C. Suppose, okay. So maybe I'll give 15 here. So 15 greater than B is true, and 17 is, so 15 greater than 17 becomes false. So this statement will not get printed. But if this number is maybe 10, then A is greater than B as well as A is greater than C. So both the conditions are true. So I will get inside this loop. Okay. Similarly, I am going to use the syntax called ELI. This means this condition is false. So I cannot directly say else, because if I do that, then I will not be able to find among B and C which is the greatest, correct? So to do that, I will use this else if. It's actually else if, but they have shortened that and given you a keyword called ELIF, elif. So elif B greater than A and B greater than C, I will say print B is the greatest. So if both these conditions are false, that is, this condition also fails, this condition also fails, then that means you don't have anything else to check at all, right? So directly you can go for else. Right? So I can see out of these three things, whichever number is the highest one, that number comes as the result. So here 15 was given. So 15 is the greatest of all, you get that. For example, if I give this number as 100, then 100 is the greatest. So you should make sure that you write the code as generic as possible, in the sense that whatever input you change here, the process should not keep on changing. So this code I am not changing at all. So here I can change anything. If I do 120 here, my C is still 100. So B should be the greatest. I should not go and change the code at all. This should be generic, in the sense it should work for any inputs that I give you. Okay, so I didn't run this now. So first I have to run this, then I run this. Now I get 120 is the greatest.